Okay, good morning. Welcome to our historical weapons program for today. We are working on the Tai Chi Saber set. Quick note, I have some kind of pinched muscle in my shoulder on my left, so my non-dominant side work is going to be a little bit off today, but I'll push you guys through it still anyway. Okay, so we have been looking at the foundations of the set over the last month in September. And today's a day where we're going to start into the openings of the form itself and starting to look at the movements of the set. And we will slowly and progressively build up the set over the next few months. Let's get ourselves warmed up a little bit. So we're just going to let the head rise and fall. And looking from side to side. And shoulder to shoulder. We can let those shoulders go back. And forward. Arms can circle one way. And arms can circle the other. We'll reach and lean to one side and to the other. One more time to the first side and the second. Let's let our arms go nice and loose, kind of wrap around the body. And a bit of shoulder stretch. So I'll pull it across. And same on the other side. And over the head. And same on the other arm. And then we'll go behind the back and pull. And same on the other side. Okay, let's warm up the hips. Roll them around one way. And around the other. One more time, the first way. And the second. A little bit of leg warming, so hips from the inside to the outside. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, a little bit up to your shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Last one up towards your chest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we can shake it out a bit. Let's circle our wrists around one way. Get ready to work that weapon in the arms. And around the other. One more time, the first way. And the second. Shake it out a little bit. We'll press in on the wrist. 1. And same on the other side. And fingers in the palm. We'll stretch a little one side. And to the other. Okay. Let's pick up our weapon and let's get rolling along. So we've got that nice grip. So we've got the thumb connecting a bit to our middle finger. We've got our edge out and away. And let's start off with our downwards diagonal warm-ups. So we're going to cut down, roll over, cut back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll take it to the non-dominant arm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good, to the dominant arm, and we're coming up on our diagonals. And this is the one you really have to watch out for, what I call sort of sweeping the floor. We're just kind of swinging it in the front. Remember, we want to reach out far and cut upwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and we'll change those arms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Continuing our strengthening work, let's go to our horizontals. So we're cutting across and back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll change arms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Continuing with our strengthening, downwards verticals on the same side of the body. 1, 2. Remember, those rollovers become our deflections. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we go across the body. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Non-dominant arm on the same side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. On the opposite side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Let's go to vertical chop from the same side of the body. So we're going to hit and return. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. On dominant arm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's go to a horizontal chop. So we're hitting and returning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Non-dominant arm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nice. Let's take a short break. Okay, let's work on our drapes. So where we're coming under the sword, around the back, let's go for a cut on the diagonal. Then we're going to come back with a horizontal. This is a nice drill, not necessarily from the Tai Chi, but a good saber drill. And then over the shoulder and chop down. So we go 1, cut, 2, horizontal, 3, down, 1. There's that drape over the back. 2, here's that drape over the other side. And out. 1, 2, 3. Oh, thrust. 1, cut. 2, horizontal. 3, over. Good. So we're talking about our deflections and our deflections and our blocks. We talked about how we could be pressing up above the head so we can support the blade and press up or down. So we've got these nice kind of checking motions here. We're going to see this low check motion here, this low floor kind of position right near the beginning of the set. So we can just think press up, press down, press up, press down. Once we get into that upper position, we can also tilt the blade one way or tilt the blade the other. So we can create a wall here, a roof here, a roof over to the side. So we can be shifting that from side to side. We've got straight down, straight up. So just getting a feel for moving that sword around. Good. High, low, one side, other side, high, low, one side, other side. And you can think about moving a little bit too, you know, shift your body one way, shift the other, kind of hollow out, press in, hollow out, one way, other way. We've got that supported position on the spine. We were talking about the rollovers, the turnovers, the recovery. So it's both the recovery from the cut that sets us up for the next one, but it's also the deflection that sets us up for any of our cuts as well. So we can think about using that sort of rollover of the blade and cutting through. We could roll on one side or the other. We could roll over here, deflect and cut. We could roll over here to deflect and cut. You could think about coming from sort of a setup position where the sword's back, where the sword's forward, and we're thinking about taking that sword and sort of dropping the tip and rolling around the wrist to deflect something out of the way. Dropping the tip and rolling. And again, you can think about kind of, whoo, I want to get off to the side a bit. Whoa, I want to be over here. So this is where we were talking about those low walls. Deflect, 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 deflect. We have our upper kind of walls where we're sculpting one way, or we might come over the other way. So we could do this with the back of the blade, thunk. So we're just kind of knocking something off to the side, or we can think of this as part of sort of a movement of winding up. So again, that idea, we deflect out to the side, and then we potentially have our cut through. So we could take our diagonal rising exercise and think of it in terms of deflect and cut, deflect and cut. Oh, deflect, cut, deflect, cut, deflect, cut. So that same process we're using, just mostly thinking about cutting at the beginning, changing the way you're thinking about it. You're deflecting off to the side, you can be cutting. You can be deflecting out to the side and cutting. We could also just have these solid kind of boom, shift out to the side. And that works well with our chops, right? Deflect and bam, we could chop in, or deflect and chop as we come in. And we can also rotate through the body to deflect and come in with our cuts. Our drapes are ways of getting around the body, but they're also ways of deflecting. So we're deflecting here, creating that roof. And instead of trying to come back from the same side, we come around. That could turn into a chop. It will in the set. We're going to come around and chop down. And we can also think about deflecting by coming around on this side. So as an exercise here, you could think about going one side, other side, one side, other side, deflect a bit, deflect a bit. And then as soon as you get that deflect, you can think about there's my drape. If you deflect over here, you parry or block over to the other side, you could then drape to come back. So from that ready position, we're kind of taking the tip down and the handle up. So we're kind of rotating a bit around the middle point of the sword here. So I'm kind of pivoting around, deflecting. We're pivoting around. If we can brace that, we can brace that. We can put it on our shoulders. We can get out of the way and shift. Okay, just kind of blasting through some of these things we spent the first month on. Let's just jump into a few of the thrusts that we've been talking about using. The first thrust we're going to see in the set is this sideways thrust where the blade is flat, the edge is out to the side, and we're sculpting through and thrusting. We're talking about kind of rolling and deflecting. So here's one of those deflections where we drop the sword and slap it out to the side. And now this time we come back by scooping and thrusting through. So we're rolling out and thrusting in. We're rolling out and thrusting in. We're rolling and thrusting. We're deflecting. We're thrusting in. A couple more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, what other thrust did we talk about? We had that sort of driving the handle down and taking the tip upwards. So we're shoving upwards and inwards with that thrusting motion here. Through, pull back, press in, pull back. Now in the set, we're actually going to go all the way over and into a transfer to our other hand. We'll get to that later. And now let's do one more of the major thrust techniques from this set. And this is where we kind of turn over the sword, and then with the blade edge facing upwards, we thrust out. So I'm coming through and I'm thrusting forward. I'm coming to thrust out, in, out, through, thrust. You'll see we're going to do this over our shoulders and in different directions, but it's the straight tip thrusting out from there. Okay, I want to jump into some of our openings. So we talked about in the previous lessons the cradling of the sword in the forearm and that ability to kind of sandwich the hands, but also those circles where we're circling one way or we could be circling the other way, and the sword is kind of resting in the arm and we're pivoting around the elbow. So this is where we're going to start. So like all good sets, we start out, the sword is going to be at our side because we're starting with the big philosophical concept of Wu Ji, the idea of everything is still, and from stillness comes motion. So our first motion here is we're going to actually lift out to the sides. So there's that resting, cradling in the arm. As we get up to about head height, we're going to settle that. We're going to sink into the right leg, and we're going to step out with the left. So we start feet together. We go out, palms are up, sword is rested, lift up through the ribs, settling into that right leg, and stepping out. Then we're going to turn in with our right foot and lift up the left arm. We're going to drop the sword. So here's that rotation in the forearm. We're going to roll back into cat position with the sword across our chest and the tip facing out and away from us. So we go 1 and 2, settle, step out. We're going to pivot and reach. We're going to roll back, cut up from underneath, and now we're going to do a stomp of the heel. So we drive the heel down. This is the story we were talking about where a famous swordman was brought in to show off his sword techniques in front of the emperor. He knew that the emperor was going to try to press gang him into being in his service. And so he did his set and everybody was kind of unimpressed. When he left, the story goes, he cracked a tile in the palace with that stomping technique. So just warning you, don't go through your floor. So we're going to go out and up, settle and into the right leg. We step out. We're balanced for a moment, but we transfer into the left leg as we pivot the right. And we are thinking about reaching out. We're then rolling back in. We're going to stomp down. Now we're going to drop the handle of the sword. We're going to put the weight into the left leg, and we're going to come up into sort of a pung position, a presentation position. So we're going to play 1 potato, 2 potato here. We're going to stack up the fist with the sword on top of it, and we're going to be in a 7-star stance with the right leg forward. So this is our salute. We've stomped the ground, boom, we're saluting as we step forward. So always a little bit of pomp and circumstance at the beginning of a set. So we go up and settle, step out, turn, weight the left, raising the sword, roll back, sword stays in the arm, we're shifting the weight back to our cat stance, we stomp, we drop the handle, we open up the left foot a little bit, and we step in to present. Or we've got this kind of salute. Now I'll add a little bit more to this today. So we're going to brush with our right hand on our hip. And as we step back to the cat position, we're going to fold in. I'll do this from both directions. We're going to fold in the sword and we're going to bring the right hand up over the head. And that's kind of the end of our salute. So I'll do that from the front once so you can see a bit more detail. We'll follow it from the back as well. So our salute, our opening, the energy up from the ground and roots. We're stepping out, we're reaching into the sword, we're rolling back to settle and stomp. We're then coming forward to salute. As we step back, we're going to brush the right leg. Sword wraps around, right hand comes up over the head. And now we're getting ready to transfer the sword into our dominant hand and begin the set. And we'll get into our first cuts today. So let's do that opening. I'll go one more time facing forward and then I'll go facing backwards and we'll start to look at our first cuts. So up and settle and step out. We're going to come around and lift and stomp. We're going to come forward and present. We're going to step back, brush the hip, scoop that handle around, up and over the head. One more time from the back. So I've got 1, 2, step out, 3, 4, stomp, step through, roll back, brush, 1, 2. So now here comes that sandwiching of the hands. I'm going to turn my trunk to the front and putting my hand from over my head to touching the sword. Here's where I'm going to transfer. And remember we were talking about being able to keep that sword balanced on the arm. We're then going to sneak underneath and we're going to touch against our wrist here. And what we're going to be doing is pulling the one across the other. So when I'm up high and I've sandwiched down, I'm going to balance that. I'm going to circle under. It's still on my forearm and elbow, still balanced. I'm going to frame up. So this is a framed position with the sword. So I could be using the pommel to strike. And then I'm going to pull one along the other. Let's have a look at how that looks if I add some fluidity. So I had my hand up, I go 1, I'm going to lift up into crane, I'm going to step, and as I step into crane with the other hand, I'm going to cut low across the front of my leg. So the sword tip is facing in and the fingertips are facing in. So 1, 2, stepping out, 3, and over, stomp, come through, present, brush, circle 1, 2 over the head, turn the trunk, pick up into your dominant arm. From here, we're going to step left, pick up right, and cut through. Let's take it from the present. So 1, step back, 2, 3, gather. So we're loading up and we go step out, cut through. We're going to add one more piece to, no, we're not going to add one more piece to the puzzle. Let's just stay with that for today because we only have a minute or so here. So let's try that a couple more times. I'll shift my angles on it. So we've got 1 and 2, settle, step, turn, lift, roll back, stomp, come forward, stack up, brush the right hip, cut underneath, gather, lift, step, lift the right and cut. Let's do that from the front here. So I've got 1, so I'm not coming straight up, I've got this circular out and down, 1, 2, 3, step through, pung, brush, collect up, turn, lift, step, cut, and a quick look at deflect, roll, brush, step, and thrust, which is where we're going to head next time we get together. So last time on this face in this direction, I've got 1, 2 is down, step out, shift the weight, roll back, stomp, come up, present, brush, roll back, gather, 1 and 2. So that sliding open cut, it's a little bit angled down. So the edge is angled down, the fingers are angled out, and you're trying to get it a little bit below the knee. for that. Okay, we're gonna have to leave it there for today. So thanks for training hard, and we will see you next week. And we will start to stir the pot and thrust and begin some of our bigger cut sections and deflections. We're off and running now. We've done our presentation, our opening, and we're starting to move into the base choreography of the set. Talk to you soon.